My name is Eddy Matalon. I am going to the studio where I am directing a musical show starring Brigitte Bardot.
Et pourtant, tu t'en vas vers une autre sans me dire un seul mot et je ne comprends pas.
The show we are filming is for television. Brigitte Bardot sings 15 songs, some in French and some in English. We have nearly finished filming now, and it has taken nearly 3 months. We started in the summer in Saint-Tropez, where we filmed in Brigitte's house and on the beach. And since then, we have filmed in the streets of Paris, as well as in the studio. The song today is called Comic Strip. Brigitte records each song in the show before we film her. Then we play the tape recording of the song in the studio, and she mimes the words. A song like Comic Strip is not easy to mime, because, as its title suggests, it consists more of noises than of words.
Alors, bam, oui, non, bam, si. Ensuite, bam, bof, wham, lam, zong.
This song was written by Serge Gainsbourg. He is a leading composer and singer in France. Serge is one of Brigitte's partners in the show and wrote several of the other songs. Before Brigitte and Serge sing, members of the film unit stand in for them so that we can prepare the camera. François Reichenbach is also filming the show with another camera. Brigitte usually likes to know what is happening through the lens of the camera and often makes suggestions.
Non, fais voir les trucs là devant.
Non, tu peux pas le mettre ça devant avec la main.
Quoi?
Ah ouais, faut faire gaffe à ça. Hein.
Passe-toi encore un petit peu, toi.
Oui, mais
sans musique, j'ai pas besoin de musique.
Sans musique, on ne sait pas.
Bon, moi, je n'ai pas déjeuné.
Voilà, prends-le.
Il y a des balles.
Voilà.
Ouais.
Chacun ses problèmes.
Moteur.
J'ai faim.
Top. Un petit ballon, s'il vous plaît.
Oui. Cheval. Avec souhait, cheval.
Attention.
Bloc, oui.
Ouais.
Comme dialogue, hein. Bof.
Bon. Ça vous plaît, bon.
Bof. Wham. Bam. Zong. Zap.
It takes about 2 days to film a song. Each song is composed of many different shots, and we usually film each shot more than once, so that by the end of the day, we all know the song pretty well. When Brigitte takes a rest, I like to get away from the studio to talk with my team about the next shots. I have worked with most of the film unit before, and this to me is very valuable because I like to keep a relaxed atmosphere when I am filming. When we know each other well, we can work as a team, and this produces better results. I am 30 years old, and I was born in Marseille, in the south of France. My parents were both killed in the war when I was 7 years old. So I was obliged to go to a boarding school in Paris until I was 17. When I left, I was determined to work in film. So I telephoned hundreds of people I did not know and asked for a job. Always, the answer was no. Until one day, I was told I could come to the studio to be an extra. When I arrived, there was no longer any need for extras. But they allowed me to stay and make tea and sandwiches. Everyone needs to eat, and after a week, I was indispensable, and I had started my career in the cinema. I spent all the money I earned on making my own films with friends, until 4 years ago, when I was financed by a publishing company to make documentaries around the world. I visited many different countries, and as soon as people discovered I was French, the first question they asked was never, "Do you live in Paris?" or "Do you like the coal?" but "Do you know Brigitte Bardot?" Of course, I did not know her, but I was so fascinated by this that when I returned to Paris, I decided to make a short film about the legend of Brigitte Bardot. No producer would back me for fear of libel or lawsuits, so I had to use my own money. The film was called À propos d'une star. I made the film in 4 days, and when it was finished, I showed it to Brigitte herself. This was the first time I had met her, and I was apprehensive, not so much because of her, but because I had spent all my money on the film. Fortunately, she liked it, and even helped me to show it in the cinema. The film lasts for 18 minutes, and I used newsreel, interviews in the street, and newspaper photographs. I put an advertisement in the paper, asking for girls who thought they looked like Bardot, and asked them why they tried to imitate her. Most of them thought it was a splendid chance to get into films.
C'est Rodolphe, je voudrais seulement parler à Brigitte.
Mais il n'y a pas de Brigitte ici, monsieur.
C'est le grand Georges, vous pouvez passer, Brigitte.
The film won 3 prizes in festivals for short films. And because of this, I was able to make my first big film.
Dites-moi, est-ce que je pourrais causer à Brigitte?
Mais il n'y a pas de Brigitte ici, monsieur.
I live in a small apartment near the Tour Eiffel. My wife, Renée, and I have been married for 8 years, and we have a little daughter called Marion, who is 2.
Tu vas aller au jardin d'acclimatation?
Une glace à la vanille avec papa.
Le métier est mort.
C'est papa.
Et maman?
C'est déjà papa.
Oui, mon bébé.
Très caveau.
This is the first comfortable apartment we've had, because all my money has gone making film. But René has been very patient with me.
Voilà. Et après?
The greatest problem in my work is that the time I can spend with my family is limited, because I often travel and work very long hours. So I always try to reserve Sunday for the family, no matter what I am doing. And I stay at home or go out with René and Marion.
C'est un jour comme un autre, et pourtant tu t'en vas. Tu t'en vas vers une autre, sans me dire un seul mot, et je ne comprends pas. C'est un jour comme un autre, mais nous sommes déjà éloignés l'un de l'autre, de nous deux. Il ne reste que moi, mais pourquoi? Toi, tu étais pour moi tout ce que j'espérais. Toi, tu étais ma vie, et même un peu plus, tu étais l'amour. C'est un jour comme un autre, et pourtant tu t'en vas. Tu t'en vas vers une autre, sans me dire un seul mot, et je ne comprends pas. C'est un jour comme un autre, mais moi j'ai mal de toi. Moi qui riais des autres, aujourd'hui, c'est vous deux qui devez rire de moi. Toi, tu prends à jamais tout ce que j'espérais. Toi, tu me prends la vie, et même un peu plus, tu me prends l'amour. C'est un jour comme un autre, et pourtant tu t'en vas. Et pourtant tu t'en vas. Et pourtant tu t'en vas.
One of the songs Brigitte sings in the show is called The Devil is an Englishman, which is filmed in London.
Better lock your door, the devil's in town. Bolt and shutter every window when he's around. Tell your hippie friends that better look out. No one's safe to walk the streets when he's around.
Bardot, can you have your together? What you can eat, please? Where are we going? Straight to the car, over there. Fine.
This is just for a dress fitting, is it? For the film of Mr. Lloyd?
Yeah.
Is that right, Bridget? This is just for a dress fitting, is it? Your costume fitting, or is it? Yes. Are you unhappy to be here today?
No, I'm very happy.
You're very happy, that's
the
very
sun is here.
Ah.
Bardot. Very much. Smile, darling. Yeah. There we are.
I saw him this morning down Carnaby Street. I caught him roving in Papa Joe's boutique. He lives in a penthouse house 10 stories high, high enough to touch the moon and stars in the sky. When the sun goes down and hidden the light, all the in-crowd congregate to dance through the night. I saw him this morning in a discotheque, whining and dining with the upper set. Better lock your door, the devil's in town. Bolt and shatter every window when he's around. Tell your happy friend that better look out. No one's safe to walk the streets when he is about. But as for me, I'm as happy as can be. We make sweet music, the devil and me.
Vous avez la double face, oui.
Monsieur du playback, tu es prêt?
Today, Brigitte is Bonnie, and Serge Gainsbourg is Clyde, in a song called The Ballad of Bonnie and Clyde, which Serge wrote especially for the show.
Bon, on n'a plus qu'à m'allumer la bougie et je suis bon. Ma bougie
Brigitte usually arrives in her costume for the day, unless it is embarrassing or unusual, like, for instance, a bikini. Most of the costumes are designed by well-known couturiers like Paco Rabanne, but Brigitte has a lot of influence in the choice. You might imagine that a big star like her would have makeup artists and people to dress her. But this is not the case. Brigitte just uses a little mirror for makeup, like any girl. She does not have a dressing room. If she needs to change, she changes in the corner of the studio. Everyone turns their back until she says, "Okay, I'm ready." And then we continue filming.
N'arrêtez pas de fumer. Oui, mais moi j'ai envie de fumer.
Serge Gainsbourg usually has ideas about the filming of the songs he has written. Bonnie and Clyde is more difficult than some because the song tells a story. Brigitte likes to see her friends on the set when she is filming, and many of the photographers are personal friends.
Tu peux même faire ça et je fais une photo, c'est ça que je dis. Si on avait pu voir notre plateau sans qu'il vous poil, on se préparait d'avance.
Eddy Matalon, viens voir.
Every day, she looks at the photographs that have been taken the day before. She is very particular about photographs, and if she does not like them, she will say so, whether the photographer is a friend or not.
Viens voir. Je voudrais des plans comme ça. Donc.
It is not always easy to work with a big star, and there are times when there is a great deal of tension in the studio. But I try to remain calm on the outside, even if I am nervous underneath. We know, for instance, that Brigitte will arrive late nearly every day, but this gives us more time to prepare the set. But once she is in front of the camera, she is a true professional. She understands the language of filmmaking and wants to know the position of the camera and the movement of each shot. She will ask Jean-Jacques Tarbès, the cameraman, about the lighting, and we discuss each shot before we film it. There are times when we argue about the shot, so I persuade her to do it twice, once for me and once for her, and I choose fairly when I edit the film. If she is right, I will use her idea. If she is wrong, I'll use mine.
Bonnie and Clyde, Bonnie and Clyde.
Qu'est-ce qu'on n'a pas écrit sur elle et moi?
On prétend que nous tuons de sang-froid.
C'est pas drôle, mais on est bien obligé
de faire taire celui qui se met à gueuler. Bonnie and Clyde, Bonnie and Clyde.
My documentary film was made shortly after Brigitte had tried to commit suicide. I tried to show how a big star has no private life, even at the time of a personal crisis. That is fortunately in the past. And now that I know Brigitte well, I can understand the great tension and difficulties in leading a life as public as hers.
C'est à moi que ce discours s'adresse.
The great advantage in making a musical show like this has been the great freedom I have had. I have been able to work throughout with a small unit, and I have been able to use my own ideas without pressures from producers and distributors. I should like to work with Brigitte again, but if I was to make a feature film, I would want control of the script and the choice of actors. And this is not easy in the case of a big star, because of all the finance involved.
La chute de l'Empire romain derrière.
Tu ne dois pas le sentir parce que... Non, pour moi, il est bon.
Tu ne sens pas la chute?
Oh non.
Bon, eh ben alors elle est bonne. Ces deux-là, tu peux déjeuner. Il n'y a qu'une parole.
Tu ne peux pas les déjeuner comme ça.
Tu ne peux pas les déjeuner. Oh, il y a des gens qui seraient heureux de te voir partir comme ça. Il y a là un problème, tu veux t'habiller?
Brigitte is very independent, and if she decides she's hungry and wants to go to lunch, it's not always easy to persuade her to finish a scene.
Après, c'est fini?
Après, c'est fini. Ça a été vite. Moteur.
Attends, écarte un instant.
Attends.
Oui, quand tu veux.
Bon, moteur.
Le silence.
Tire à toi.
Silence.
Attention dans la lumière, là. Hein.
Annonce.
Bardot, à 5, 3e.
Now there's the truth, yes, that's the truth, oh baby, 'cause you're mine. Now there's the truth, yes, that's the truth, oh baby, 'cause you're mine. Now there's the truth, yes, that's the truth.
I have tried to keep a relaxed, informal atmosphere in the studio. Sometimes there have been problems. For instance, sometimes there have been so many photographers on the set that it has been almost impossible to find anywhere for our own cameras.
Bien, j'aime bien que tu aies tourné la tête d'enfant. Tu vois un œil qui reste pendant un moment.
Terminé.
Bon, ciao, adieu Berthe. Mon cadeau. Comment je fais?
Brigitte can be capricious and temperamental sometimes. But in the end, everything usually works out for the best. And we don't mind too much if sometimes things from the set find their way to her apartment, because she is a very professional performer.
Now tell the truth, that's just a lie. You know that isn't right. Now tell the truth, that's just a lie. You know that you play. Lipstick traces